everyone, Doug Mystic Guy here, getting ready to do turns 7 and 8 of our wild and crazy playthrough of A Touch of Evil. Heck of a lot went on last turn. Everything from poor Bessie, the horse being mutilated and left out to her corpse left out to rot in the fields. Apparently some terrible experiments done on her by some unknown force that may or may not be related to the spectral horsemen. Minions of the evil horsemen coming out in droves onto the world, or the area around Shadowbrook, and our intrepid heroes actually getting some ground, being able to get some items such as this wonderful crossbow, a good stash of investigation tokens. Poor Lucy Hambrook. She was Katarina. So I've realized I've been spelling her name the whole time wrong when I've been doing the transitions from turn to turn. I will fix that. But Katarina, she's doing quite well. She did get to her place to unlock her rusty key, and that's why she has that. So that is actually gone. I'm going to remove that now. And then we have poor Lucy Hambrook, who found out that she has been marked by the devil. And as such, she is doing her darndest to make up for for potentially being evil by helping the heroes overcome the spectral horsemen. And our pious soldier, Carl, the Carl who has quite a bit of spirit in him, carrying around a powerful Bible and praying at the church. So that's kind of where we left off. Now there were some errors, and I'm going to touch on those just briefly. A couple things just to make note of. When I did the turn at the town square with Katarina, she could have bought stuff there. It doesn't matter because she didn't have that much money, so I'm not going to go back and fix it. Also, I actually had forgotten how those fields work, and the 1 to 3 to 4 6 actually have nothing to do with movement. A couple other minor things, nothing worth reinventing the game or changing it for. The only one that really may have been impactful is when I did Inspector Cook's turn here in the monastery. He should have also first drawn a monastery card before I did the purchase there. Again, nothing so critical. We can't just keep moving on, but I did want to make note of those because those of you playing will want to play as correctly as possible. Like I said, the good news when you're playing with others is you can help each other keep track of the rules, and that's why I really look forward to the feedback that people give me online and help me kind of keep track of what what I'm missing when I do the playthrough. As inevitably I'm going to miss something, and I am going to miss more, I promise. But I try. And then, last but not least, one of the biggest things that occurred was one of my favorite town elders, Sophie the midwife, turned out to be a servant of darkness in the thrall of the spectral horseman, and became Sophie the vixen, and ran off to join the evil horseman in his deeds. So we have lost her to the council. Now we're left with Dr. Manning, Reverend Harding, Lady Hambrook, and Magistrate Croft, as well as Lord Hambrook. Of course, Lady and Lord Hambrook are Lucy's parents, and Lucy is doing her darndest to prove to them that her mark means nothing as in regards to her good intentions. So, with that being said, let's continue on. When last we left, Katarina would be the last player, so the player token should have moved on to Lucy Hambrook. We're going to do that now and start with turn 7. The abandoned keep, and we're just going to roll for her movement and get her going. She rolled a 2. That's not too great, but anyway, she's probably going to start heading back towards town because there's all these investigations tokens to pick up, and she's got quite a bit on her. So we're going to do that. Now what we can do, I guess, during this part of the turn, well, I don't know, I think we're going to end it right there for her and move on. It'll be a very short turn for her. And then we'll move to Carl. Finish Lucy Hambrook's turn, since she's got quite a bit of investigation tokens on her character already. Is we're going to look into the secrets as she wanders up the road and finds the mutilated corpse of the horse. she's going to spend 2 of her investigation tokens to look at one of the secrets of good Dr. Harding, who she suspects may have had some foul play due to the surgical precision that was taken out on the horse. So what do we have for... Oh, wow. Okay. Looks like the town elders are abandoning us in droves to go aid the villain. This is not good, by the way. This elder is either the villain or is in direct control of the villain. If revealed, this town elder immediately flips to become an evil elder and joins the villain. Do not discard this secret. The villain gains +2 wounds. And the evil elder may not be targeted in a fight. So Dr. Manning must have been seduced by Sophie the Vixen and has become the good doctor. So we will again move him over alongside the horseman here. Things are getting a little more bleak for our heroes. We're just going to tuck this secret card underneath here and leave the +2 there so we can see the effect. Definitely don't want to cover up the horseman card though. Okay, so there we have it. We already uncovered the terror. Good doctor was doing experiments on the local livestock and probably was responsible for a few of the murders that drew out the horseman, since he may even be in control of the spectral horseman. What a terrible thing. Wow, only 4 elders left. Not a good sign for our heroes, I tell you. Anyway, that will officially end Lucy's turn. Now we're going to move on to Carl the soldier. Actually just making a trek to the windmill again. So he rolls a 2 for his movement. He's going to do that by going there, and we're going to draw a windmill card. So what do we got? Let's see. He drew from the windmill Voices in the Dark. Let's get close here. The whispering voices get louder as as you push farther into the darkness. They know you are here. They know your name. They want you to join them forever. That's not good. And that came out of the windmill? I guess it did. Okay, so basically, well, here's some good news. Got to make a Spirit 5 test and gain 3 investigations for every 5 rolled. But if we fail, we get KO'd. Well, if you remember, Carl has a 3 Spirit now because of what he's done, and he gets a +2 Spirit because of the family Bible. So he will clutch the Bible closely and roll his 5 dice with the hopes of getting a 5 or better. We succeeded with 2 5s, so actually he's going to get an additional 6 investigation tokens for that. That's outstanding for Carl. So what could have been a very bad scenario for him, here's Carl, turned into something good. I am getting him his investigation tokens right now. There are 6 more for a good Carl, and this is the board over by his. There he is. Okay, that was not a bad turn for him. Not the greatest turn for us, but it could have been worse. And for that, we will end Carl's turn, and we will move on to Inspector Cook. Is here at the South Docks. He's not. He definitely wants to continue on his quest and even get to the end somehow. But he knows that there's some evil beast stalking him. He can hear it growling at him in the wilderness. So he's a little nervous about leaving. He may go back north to the monastery where he had some luck before. Of course, he's already got one of the monastery items, but he did not draw a monastery card last time. And there's more tokens up there for him to get. And worst case scenario, the monastery also has this advantage. It's the secret passage that will take him over to the manor house. So I think we're going to see if we can do that. Let's see if we can roll enough movement. Well, he rolls a 5 on his movement, so he can. He's going to actually go to the North Docks there. Does he stop there and pick those up, or does he continue? No, I think it's better to get a monastery card. He's going to go here, one more. He will then draw a monastery card and encounter the monastery. Well, that's interesting. He got an item. Pretty good one, too, I might add. He got the Hand of Glory. He's already got a Cunning of Force. That's pretty neat. Also, your movement is not blocked by enemies, and you may always escape while in a space with another hero. You may discard to steal D6 plus 3 investigation or one item from them. Well, being that we're playing a cooperative game, we're not going to use that part of the ability, but the ability to move through enemies is pretty nice. So, rummaging around at the old monastery, Inspector Cook found the very nostalgic, from Dungeons & Dragons, Hand of Glory, which gives him +1 cunning. And then he's going to make a roll using his cunning again, which is now 5, to try and pick up the rest of the one remaining investigation token that's there. So here's our 5 dice. Actually, he's not good at that. He failed, but he still had a good turn there. He does not have really well. I might go look through some more items as well while I'm there. Why not? He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and those monastery items count as town items, so he can have more than one of those. Yeah, let's do that. There's no harm in doing it. He doesn't have to buy anything if he chooses not to. And again, like the town items, I always draw 3, and he gets to choose from the 3 that he has available to him. So, what do we have here? We have a guide. You may discard the guide to cancel and redraw any location card you've just drawn. Well, he only costs 1. Old map. Instead of moving normally, discard the old map to move to any space on the board, plus you get +1 honor. That's not too bad. And then the robes, which are 6. I don't know if he can afford the robes. 1, 2. He can actually exactly afford these robes. Discard during a fight. You're in to cancel all hits done this fight round and immediately escape. Well, I don't know. There's not much of a choice there. The robes also gives him an extra wound, along with his little servant boy. That'll put him up to 5 wounds he can take. Yeah, I think that he's going to do that, and that's going to end Inspector Cook's turn for turn 7. Inspector Cook is now pretty well laden down. He's got quite a bit going for him at the moment. What a turn of events for him. Of course, he couldn't pick up the clue token in his space, which would have given him an extra one. But, I think he feels safer trying to move around now, perhaps getting to taking out actually the ghost dogs, the bargests, and dealing with them. He might be able to do it with the 2 extra wounds he can take, plus the additional combat he's got. He's got 3 combat, and he gets to do double damage on a 6 with the crossbow, so that's not too bad. Anyway, that is going to end his turn, and we're going to move on to Katarina. Katarina, turn 7, is here she's at the manor house still, and I do believe that we're going to roll her movement, but she's probably going to linger there and draw another card, unless she rolls really well. Reason being is because that party invitation can allow her to hold 2 cards from here. The Book of Medicine is one of them. It is a manor card. But again, she's got some opportunity there. So we're going to roll her movement first. She rolled a 1 anyway, interestingly. So she gets to draw an event card. Wow. I guess we're having a lucky turn this turn. I don't know. I'm worried that the mystery face is going to go south on us. We have another endurance card. Play this on any hero. I think that, well, what's interesting is on this one is we already got Inspector Cook and Carl laden down. Katarina's already got 4. Lucy's only got 2. So I believe that what we're going to do is give this card to Lucy Handbrook. She's been pumping iron, I guess, working out, carrying around swinging her big saber, and it toughens her up and gives her another wound potential. So now she can take 3. And that's great because she also heals quite well. She heals 1 at the beginning of every turn of hers if she's damaged. She's currently not. And that allows her to take 3 and then heal, which is pretty outstanding. Yeah, so that is the event card for that turn. Now I have to roll for her lingering, which I also got a correction from somebody on. So yeah, we rolled a 6, so nothing really happens there, and she gets to draw another manor card. Okay, this doesn't look like a good one, but we'll see. The Bleeding Wall, nice. after dinner, so I guess she's eating with Lord and Lady Hambrook, and decides to retire at the manor house for the evening. It's too late, and we know that there's creatures about. So after dinner, the silence is broken by the screams of a servant girl. Rushing to the study, you are aghast to discover the west wall apparently bleeding. Is this trickery or a dark sign of things to come? Well, she's got to make a spirit of cunning test, 5+, and gain 1 investigation for every 5 rolled. Well, for her, I think that's a no-brainer. It's going to be her cunning, which will be 4 dice. And we're going to do that right now. Hopefully she rolls. Now, it doesn't say, what's interesting is that even though this is a bad kind of, it sounds bad, it's really not a bad card, because if she fails, nothing happens. So, let's see. Well, she didn't fail, but she didn't do that good. She got 1 more investigation with that 5 there. And that's giving her quite a bit. She's got quite a bit of money going on. She probably needs to do some things. I think maybe why she's, so I'm nervous about doing this, while she's at the manor house, maybe she'll stop and investigate either the secrets of Lord and Lady Hambrook, or one of them. Why don't we do that? We'll start with Lady Hambrook, see what happens there. She's going to spend 2 investigation tokens. And let's see here. Oh, well, there you go. Nice turn of events there. Closely guarded and quiet, the elder clearly keeps the reserved manner only. Let's put this down so I can stabilize the camera a bit. Only desperate times can stir reluctant heroes into action. This town elder may not join a hunting party unless the shadow track is in red. Well, that ain't good, because meaning if it's in red, we're getting pretty close to losing. During a showdown, the hero gains +3 fight dice, as well as the town elder special ability. Well, that's pretty good. So, finally, a good thing with Lady Hambrook, we find out that she's actually a reluctant hero who has set her daughter, making up a fun story as we go along here, has set her daughter Lucy Hambrook on the path to be overcoming the evil mark that was laid against her at her birth, the mark of the devil, to prove that she too can help the town. And since Lady Hambrook doesn't know who the enemy is yet, she didn't feel safe stepping out on her own, and has worked covertly in the shadows to help her daughter. And that will end. Actually, that was Katarina's turn. Yes, it was. That was the end of Katarina's turn and the end of the 7th turn for the players. So now we'll move on to the mystery phase. This Bargest here is going to move 2 and end up in a fight with Soldier Carl. I don't know if that's such a bad thing. This Bargest down here is going to move 2 closer to the closest hero he can get to, which is our good old inspector up in the monastery. Definitely closer than Lucy, who's heading into town. So, yeah, Carl is going to have to fight the Bargest. Now, if you recall, Bargest has 4 fight dice, does 2 wounds. Moves 2, trying to see if there's anything. Moves toward the one with the highest honor if they're tied, so we know that he already had he was closer, so it didn't really matter. And of course, when we defeat them, they might come back. Unfortunately for Carl, I mean, he's got his base 4 combat, but his spirit is actually the better talent, and he can't do anything. He can't fight this creature with the spirit. But we're going to have to do the best we can. I'm looking to see at event cards. We do have some event cards that can help. Okay, yeah, we do definitely have an event card or 2 that can help. One is an escape card that can prevent all wounds, and the other one is knocked away, which can also prevent wounds. We're going to start by rolling 4 dice. Wow, pretty good. Carl, the veteran, don't forget that he also doesn't take the first wound in a combat either. So he managed 2 wounds against the Bargest. So right now we'll just place 2 wounds next to the Hound right there, and it can take 2. So actually, it's going to die, but it gets to roll 4 dice as well. And then we have to roll to see if it comes back. Just double checking to make sure it doesn't get any special hits, because if it didn't, it totally missed. Good old Carl, man, he whooped that thing. Okay, so now I got to roll a d6. If I roll a 4+, we have to place the bar just elsewhere. Oh, sorry. There, okay. There's my roll. 3. Anyway, so it did not come back. Goes back, goes away. And we'll put that one back on the pile. As a result, Carl gets 4 investigations. So we're going to take a 5 out. Take 1 away, give him another 5 there. He's got 13 investigations. So I think, let's continue to press our luck here. I think we're going to have him also spend 2 to look at a secret. Oh, it's not his turn, actually. He can't do that right now. This was the mystery phase. That was just the beastie's turn on the mystery phase, so we're not doing that right now. What we are going to do is bust out the advanced cooperative mystery chart. Now that we've moved the 2 dogs that were on the table, and roll those as a 4. Lies and deceit. Roll a d6. Any town older with an honor or equal or less than the roll. Here it is, in case you want to see it. Gains 1 secret. If they gain 3, then they 3 or more, they immediately reveal them all. Okay, let's roll. Well, I got lucky there. Let's see, what is everybody honor? The only one that took Lady Hambrook only has 1 secret, and everybody else has higher than 2. So that was it. Nobody revealed. I rolled a 2, by the way. Nobody revealed any additional secrets that turn. So we're going to get rid of this chart for the moment and draw our mystery card for the turn. Okay, what do we got here? Let's see. Oh, we got glare. Okay. No one is safe. Let's get this to focus a little better for us here. There we go. The villain attacks, killing one of the town elders. Roll a d6. Any town elder with an honor equal to the number rolled is killed. Each hero gains 2 investigations. Hopefully it won't be Lady Hambrook. A 6. Oh man, oh, that's a shame. Well, the only 6 on the board is Lord Hambrook, Lucy's father. The Spectral Horseman, knowing that Lucy is helping to assault the horseman and bring him down, put an end to his reign of terror, has stormed the manor house and killed Lord Hambrook in his sleep. Katarina was there, but she couldn't make it in time to save the Lord, even though she did find some clues in the house that will help her later on. This may strain the relationship between Lucy and Katarina, as Lucy, I'm sure Lucy will think that Katarina could have saved her father. Unfortunately, he is dead. So, rip Lord Hambrook. Tell you what, our town elders are going fast. But each of the heroes does gain 2 investigations. I also have to look it up. I believe that when a town elder dies, it moves the shadow track. So I'm going to look at that up real quickly. When a town elder is killed, the shadow track moves down by 2. We do have, so basically it's going to go down to 12, which gives the villain plus 4 additional hit points on top of all the additional hits he's been getting from the evil elders and stuff like that. But we do have the ability, I may use this now, it's called Reassuring Speech. Immediately moves the shadow track. And remember, I still have to give everybody 2 investigation tokens before we continue on. But I can play that as an action, so I might do that next turn. Anyway, I'm going to adjust everybody, give everybody their tokens, and then we will move on to turn 8. Okay, on to player turn 8. First up is going to be Carl the Soldier. He's going to probably have to make his way back to town. He's got a lot of money to spend. There is a ghost at the blacksmith which he wants to deal with so he can buy some stuff because he's got a lot of money. Anyway, I think we're gonna do that. So starting off turn 8, Carl hears about the death of Lord Hambrook and the betrayal of the good doctor and Sophie the Vixen. Becoming angered, he wants to storm toward the town and defeat any creatures in his path. Of course, he only rolls a 1, so that's not going to help him a whole lot. Anyway, he does get to draw a card. So we draw play immediately cards, Strength of Battle. Play this card on any hero, that hero immediately gains +1 combat marker. This might be interesting. So do I give that to Carl, give him a 5? Give it to Katarina, give her a 3. Give her 4 to... Yeah, let's give it to Carl. So we're going to give Carl a +1 combat, since he's the one that didn't benefit from this movement that he needed. He's actually doing pretty good. He's increased his spirit, so of course he's got the Bible, so he's got a spirit of 5 and now a combat of 5. This and plus extra wound. This guy's getting pretty tough. He's got a lot of money to buy stuff with as well, so we're going to hit him. He can only move 1, unfortunately, so we're going to hit him back towards town. That's going to end his turn. Then we'll move on to Inspector Cook. So Inspector Cook, he's up at the monastery. He's got a lot of stuff on him. I don't think he's too afraid of that beastie anymore. I mean, he's only got a combat of 3, but he's got an extra wound. He can just run by that enemy using the Hand of Glory that he's got. And he's also got his little dude with him. So let's see how his movement goes. Well, instead of moving, we can, normally... Okay, we know what we can do with him. He wants to do this. He doesn't have a lot of investigation left. He only has the 2 he just got. But he's going to spend 1 to use the secret passage, come to the manor with Katarina, where he and Katarina are going to trade. This book of medicine does no good. Or sorry, no, God, it wasn't the book of medicine. Who has this? Oh, it's Lucy. It has the tools of science to trade to him. Well, anyway, he's going to go to the manor house. I'm going to check. I think he does have a manor card, which is that's the ban and keep card. Okay, he does not have a manor card, so he's going to go there and draw a manor card. Okay. All right. So coming out of the secret passage, what does he find? A secret passage. So he can make a cunning 4 test. If successful, he gains 1 investigation for every +4 rolled, and he can immediately move and encounter another space. That's interesting. I mean, he's been hit with this one twice. So, well, let's do that and see how this goes. So, cunning test for him. That is going to be 5. He's got the Hand of Glory and a base 4. He needs to roll, let's look at the card again. He needs to roll a 4+. So he rolled, wow, what a roll for him this turn. Look at that. That's pretty awesome. So he got 4 successes. So he's going to get, well, 4 investigation, plus he gets to go encounter another space. So, searching around the manor, he found quite a bit in the secret passage that leads him to finding either useful items or something more about the terrible horseman that's plaguing the town. Then he gets to move to another location automatically. I think it's another named an encounter on any namespace on the board. Okay, well, you know what he might do here is move to... Nobody's gone to the old woods, and he hasn't gone to the windmill. He's got the protection of the militia in the old woods, so and there's a ghost there and some tokens. He'll move there. So he found this old crypt that allowed him to sneak through and passed into the old woods, where he encounters a group of militia camping in the forest. And there he draws a card for the old woods, which we have. Just going to get rid of this manor card first, and here we go. Okay, this is what he drew. Okay, the trees seem to bend and move and to confuse you. Place this card on your hero. You may not leave the old woods unless you have a 4 or higher movement, and may not escape from a fight. Roll lingering as normal. At the end of each of your turns, stack 1 investigation on this card. Upon leaving this space, discard this card and gain all investigation. Well, that's not terrible for him, because remember, when he does gain, which I just gained, investigation, he gains 1 more when he's not gaining investigations in combat. So he does in fact gain 1 more from the secret passage, which I almost forgot. And we got the card on him now with the shifting trees, and we're going to keep track of that, and that's going to end Inspector Cook's turn for turn 8. Katarina could have sworn she saw the inspector rummaging around the manor, but then he disappeared suddenly and was no longer able to be found. Not wanting to hang out, she's going to continue on. She rolls a 3. That can get her to the church. Sure, why not? She's going to head down to 3 to the church, and she sees that there's this evil spirit or something lingering around the blacksmith. But so while she's at the church, knowing that she can only fight evil spirits with the strength of her own spirit, she's going to stop, spend a couple of investigation tokens to pray at the church, which she can do with her honor of, I believe her honor is 5, yeah. So she's got a 5 honor, and she needs to roll a 5 or 6, and she did. So she gains a +1 spirit. That is really good for her. I'm going to get that token and be right back. Okay, that is going to end Katarina's turn. Now we're going to move on to Lucy Hanbrook, and Lucy's turn will mark the end of the round. So what she's going to do, let's roll her movement. 1. Okay, she gets to draw. Man, I roll a lot of 1s. We're drawing a lot of event cards, though. Let's see. What do we got here? Spirited attack. Play on any hero, including yourself, to allow them to add their spirit to their combat roll. Okay, that's a good one to keep. And well, I guess she'll just move 1 here and see if she can collect using her cunning, I guess, to, well, let me think, cunning or spirit, one or the other, to collect, no, not cunning, definitely not cunning, to collect some of those tokens. We're going to do that. We'll be right back. She's going to make a spirit test. She's got a spirit of 4 to see if she can get some of those investigation tokens from the board. There are 3 in there. She rolled, well, she got 1. So she was able to pick up 1 investigation on her way into town. She too sees the evil spirit and thinks that perhaps she can handle a fight with that spirit, knowing that not only does she have her saber in a real fight, but she's also got God behind her, protecting her and guiding her. So that is going to end the player turn for turn 8. Now we're going to move on to the mystery phase. Now there's still one of the Bargest hounds on the board. It's really far away from anybody, so really all it can do is move to the crossroads and move to where these ghosts are here, getting close to our friend the inspector. So that's going to end that part. Now let me get the mystery chart out. We're going to get that down, and we're going to roll our mystery chart roll here. Okay. 9. We've seen this one before. A powerful supernatural storm has blown over the town. Immediately discard any mystery cards in play that have a keyword of weather. There's none. Also roll once on the villain minion chart to see what evils the storm has brought. If the villain attacks during the storm, it does so at a random location and a +3 combat. Now, hopefully we don't get that, but let's roll on the minion chart and see what happens. Okay, we rolled a 1, so we're going to get a new Bargest hound on the board. It is going to... Okay. It's going to appear at the old woods. So, while the poor inspector is rummaging around in the old woods trying to find his way out under the guidance of a group of militia, he is attacked by an evil ghost hound. Not fun. But the good news is, he has a combat of 3 right now, plus he's also got an extra 2 wounds, and he's got the militia, which gives him an extra wound and another combat. So he's got a 4 combat right now in the old woods against this Bargest hound, and he's got to do 2 wounds. So let's roll. He got 1 wound on that turn, so we're going to mark the hound with 1 wound, and then the hound is going to get to attack back with his 4 dice. We do have a couple things to avoid wounds, so if he does a lot of damage, we'll be able to avoid it. Well, he did 2. The dog did 2 wounds to the specter. Do I want to block them or take them? Let's see. I can play Knocked Away. Play this card when a hero, including yourself, here's the card, takes one or more wounds in a fight. Prevent all those wounds and instead choose one item that the hero must discard. I'm not up for that. Our items are too good. I think we also have another one that can help us there. No. Okay, so that was really the only one that could have prevented that right now. Wait a second, we have escape too. Play to prevent all wounds that would have been done to a town elder. Okay, so he can't really stop this without losing an item. He doesn't want to do that. So he is unfortunately going to take 2 wounds. Not such a bad thing, considering that he's got a lot of extra wounds right now. Now he's got to roll again for himself. Again, he's got 4 dice. And in that 4 dice, he does 1 more wound, which will kill the hound, but the hound gets to roll back. And the hound did 2 more wounds to the good inspector. Quite a fight for him. And that puts him at, again, at 4. Luckily, he's got more than that. He's also got another hound coming his way. Looking pretty grim for the good inspector. He may have to flee using his hand of glory. And I'm not sure how that's going to work, given that he's stuck in these woods right now. We'll see. This might be the first KO of the game, and he's got a lot of stuff, so that would be a shame. Anyway, I think we can discard the robes to help him too. Yeah, so he can probably survive that Bargestown should it come again. But basically that is, now we have to draw our mystery card for the turn. Hopefully it's nothing too terribly bad. Okay, let's see here. Traitor's Blood. Every hero must immediately roll a d6 and add their honor. Whichever hero has lowest result must immediately choose one of the town elders to be killed by the villain. The hero also loses investigation in the amount of the hero's honor. Okay, you know what? I can get rid of this card. And I believe we will. Let me see, I'm going to go through a couple of these cards and see what we have. So actually, we can't get rid of that. We have one called Daybreak that gets rid of one that is remaining in play. Looking through the cards that we have here. Man, we got all these great cards and they just aren't helping us in these situations. Play to discard any event or mystery card that remains in play except during a fight round. Okay, so we really can't do much about this. We're going to have to do it. So, each hero's roll. So, there we go, 5, 10. So it's not going to be, probably not going to be Katarina, or it looks like Lucy is going to be the one that has to choose an elder and lose lose half her investigation tokens. So she rolled a 5. So, oh man, she should kill her. I mean, we don't want to kill her mother because her mother's got. Man, this is rough. So, let's go look at these 10 elders. Let's look at this again. Must immediately choose one. So also choose equal to the elders. Okay, that's going to be 3 or 4 because we either kill the magistrate or the reverend. I think it's going to have to be, sadly, +2 and times 5. Man, I don't know. That's 3 honor for him. And we're definitely not doing Lady Hembrook. She's a reluctant hero. Gain +2 fight against. Okay, I guess it's going to have to be Magister Croft. So we have lost Magister Croft in the mystery phase, and that puts our shadow track down to 10, and we only have 2 of the remaining 10 elders left in play that are alive, and that will end turn 8 of our gameplay session and end this recording. We'll see you next time. Hope you're enjoying it. We're having quite a lot of fun. It's a lot of things going on. Also, oh yeah, I'm going to have to get rid of 4 of Lucy Hembrook's investigations. So, because of that card. So those are gone, and this is where we're at. So thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon.